Okay, here we go. Question number 4, job performance versus organizational citizenship behavior in job descriptions. And it goes, talk about a current job description that you can find and discuss how you would improve that description by including or removing elements that directly lead to overall performance in that role. So I want to start by defining these terms here. I think that's going to be really important. I believe the whole fix is there. Keeping the job separate from the organizational citizenship behavior requires some definitions. Job performance. This is the formal, measurable core of a job. It's the thing that the manager reviews and audits to determine whether or not someone is performing as well as they should. This is what says that this person's a high performer or this person needs to be on a performance improvement plan. Organizational behavior, on the other hand, is very different. Dennis Organ at Indiana University coined the term, and he describes it as discretionary behavior. This is something like helping an employee, helping out a colleague, having a good attitude, stuff like this, staying positive under pressure. A lot of job descriptions that are not intentional will sneak in this type of OCB, organizational citizenship behavior, by saying things like, is calm under pressure in fast-paced environments. That's cultural, but not gradable. But we're going to look at three things in this job description that I found, and we're going to rewrite them and take away one of them so that it actually fits and improves this job description. So the role that I picked was a personal banker with Commerce Bank in Kansas City. So the essential function section of the job was actually pretty good. It was decently written. Interact with customers through needs-based conversations, something that you can track. Recommend products to hit sales goals, something that you can track. Complete transactions accurately, stay in compliance. All these things are something that you can monitor and track as a manager. They're very gradable, if you will. A manager can look at that and say, yes, this employee did this, or no, this employee did not do this. When it started to get into the gray area outside of core job performance was the knowledge, skills, and ability section of this job description. This is when they tried to sneak in language that totally shifts, something like motivated, organized self-starter. These are great things. Team player with excellent communication skills. And the clearest example of the problem, ability to remain adaptable with an optimistic outlook aligned with our culture and core values. These are all wonderful things and really important and should be on job descriptions, but they shouldn't be cloaked in job performance language because, again, you can't grade these things. So here's the fix. Here's how we change this. Self starter gets folded into job performance. We rewrite it by saying something like, identifies a customer need outside the scripted interaction and closes it without being prompted. That's something that you can track. Did you take initiative? Did you hear what this customer said when they walked in? And did you close that gap? That's great. Um, let's look at this other one. Team player with strong communication skills. This can be rewritten as coordinates handoffs to a specialist clearly enough so that the customer doesn't have to repeat themselves. Again, this is a gradable skill that correlates with communication, and they're the same thing, except now you've put it in language that becomes part of the core responsibility. So, quickly, this last thing is one we're going to remove completely. But the last line here, optimistic outlook aligned with our culture, does not belong in the job performance at all, in my opinion. We got to pull this out. I would not force it there either. I wouldn't tie it to a metric by rewriting it. I would pull it out and then label it under organizational citizenship behavior. I would write it descriptively. I wouldn't write it with a metric to be graded. Something like team members here are expected to support each other through high volume periods that represent the branch's culture and how they treat coworkers, not just customers. This is descriptive. It's not gradable, but it lets the job applicant know what is expected in the role. This is where I think the most good is, in my opinion. John Wonos, as I wrap up, from the Ohio State, built his research on a realistic job previews. He built it around this idea. Posting a job that hides OCB inside of vague qualifications doesn't do the job description any good. But when you separate them and use descriptive language to describe environments, you end up attracting candidates that fit and repelling candidates that don't fit. They self-select out. So this is how I would improve this job description. Thank you.